Hey, what's up, guys? Today's podcast, I'm going to talk to you about where I'm at right now, what I'm thinking about, and how maybe it can help you and what you're trying to achieve and what you actually want to do. Trying to figure it out, what you want to do, how the best way to do that, whether you want to start a business, whether you want to, make content online, what kind of content, whether you want to write books, whether you want to make, try to start doing online stuff, figure out your life, whatever it is. I think that maybe this podcast might help you and thinking about that because it's what I'm experiencing right now. And I'll tell you what I'm going through and what I'm thinking and how maybe it might can help you. And we'll figure it out together. I'm no expert, but maybe I could be a little bit of a friend and you can learn a little bit from what I'm going through and some of the mistakes that I made and what I'm doing right now. And maybe we can learn together, figure it out. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this backyard podcast today. And I appreciate you. All right, let's do it. Well, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Dan Catherine. Thanks so much for joining me. We are here live. Not really live, but we're kind of live in Mesquite, Texas, outside in the backyard. Okay, I'm outside, so you're going to hear some stuff. You hear a plane right now. Maybe some dogs bark. I thought it'd be fun. I'm here at my family's house for Thanksgiving. And it's Thanksgiving week. It's Monday. Thanksgiving's on Thursday, and we've got a lot of stuff going on. And I thought it'd be fun. I really wanted to make a podcast outside, different places for a long time. I just never had the goal to do it yet. I wanted to do if I did interviews, I kind of want to do them like places where you might actually do an interview, right? You might do an interview. Outside, you might because you might talk. Where are you going to talk? You're going to have talks outside. I've had so many conversations in the parking lot, right? You're on a curb, I thought it might be fun to do something like that. Or, you're just outside, or you're just in a car, or you're just at a restaurant, or you're somewhere. You're not generally in a studio or somewhere where it's very much, this is what's happening. We're on a talk show and this is, this is how you have conversations. I wanted to be regular places and also kind of not regular places, kind of like this. This is kind of one where I'm literally in a chair in the middle of the yard, and it's not necessarily generally where you sit outside. You usually sit up on the patio or somewhere if you're out in the backyard. I just thought this would be fun. I want to give it a shot. And also I wanted to do podcasts that were just me. And because I want to talk and I want to make podcasts and I don't always have access to somebody to interview with. And sometimes too, I was thinking for the podcast, which is kind of what I'm going to get into today, about what I actually want to do. And I like doing them on my own. And I just was kind of afraid of what people might think of that, what people might think about me, and it's maybe not funny, or it's maybe kind of more self-help or advice, or you're just kind of like you're reading my journal type thing. Maybe it helps you, maybe it doesn't, maybe it entertains you, maybe it doesn't. And it's just me, and but I want to start doing it. I want to start doing it because I think it'll be fun for me. And then later, once I get going, I'll figure out how to make it good for you. And that's a summary of, I think, this whole podcast. I'm going to try to make this one pretty quick, but who knows? Generally, most of these, if you guys don't know, generally they're about 20, 30 minutes. And I'll tell you why. It's because my camera's cut off at 30 minutes. So I try to make it 30 minutes because I don't have anybody here to ever film. So it's just me. I set up the cameras, I set up the mics, set up all this for everything nearly I do. And I like it that way. It's fun. But I do got a clock on these. It used to be, it's better than my old ones, which my old cameras used to be 11 minutes. So I was like, oh my God. And they didn't autofocus. So impossible to make a podcast by yourself. It's just really ridiculous. And these autofocus, and also, but they stop at 29 minutes. So we got a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about where I'm at and what I'm thinking. And honestly, it helps me. This helps me. This helps me to talk. It's kind of like therapy, and it's a way that you learn. And I talked about this before, but it is a way that I learn when you talk and you hear what you say, you register it differently. And it's one of the 7 or however many ways that people learn. And that's definitely one way that I do. So this actually does help me And that's why I have the headphones on, because it actually does help me to hear it. Kind of like having an amp when you're a band, you need to hear what you're playing. And it does help me quite a bit. So this is fun for me. Hopefully it'll be entertaining or helpful to you. And let's get going. So yeah, seriously, there's been planes. I did a take already, and there was planes, there was dogs. A dog like took a big poop right over there, and it just wafted over here, and it was distracting. And so yeah, you will have that distractions and stuff, and it is, we're out in the wild, we're out and outside, and no control over the light or the people around, and so I think it's kind of fun. We'll see how it goes. But so for the reason that you're probably clicked on this or listening to this right now, I've been going through some stuff trying to figure myself out because I have had some success in things that I do. I now have a studio in Clearwater Clearwater, Florida, and now I work on about 4 different TV shows. I am the photographer and the social media creator for 2 of them, and set photographer, and I do all the sponsors and stuff on these shows. They're all car shows. So if you guys are into car shows, I work on All Girls Garage, 2 Guys Garage, Truck U, and Car Fix. And those are all on Motor Trend, owned by Discovery. It's great, and most people think that that's amazing. And it is. It's a great opportunity, but it's not necessarily the direction that I want to go in, personally. I don't know if that's, it's just, figuring yourself out. Same thing in my business. I now realize that I kind of want a little bit more freedom to travel, to come here, to go other places, and to not necessarily have to be there. So I would like to transition my business to mainly be either A, online, or B, a business that doesn't require me to actually be there to succeed. So that's kind of hard with when I'm the photographer or when I'm the person making the videos. But one way that I'm going to do that for at least my studio is I'm going to start doing studio rentals, and I can hire somebody to be there, so I don't necessarily have to. And then so I got, and then of course the third thing, or third out of 4 probably, but the third thing is content. I've been making, if you guys don't know, I've been making probably, this is probably my 120th or so video that I made, and I've just been making stuff, and so figuring out what I want to do for my content, what I want to make, how I want to make videos, and what that is. So I'm shifting and changing for that too, like I just talked about with the podcast, just being me, or videos that I'll make on YouTube, just different types of videos. And it's different from like what you think you should do, and it's really about people's perception of you, and what you think that they expect of you is tough. And then also on the other end is you starting something because you're thinking straight just about the business, right? You're thinking about just money, or you're thinking about just fame. You're thinking about what can go viral, and not really what I enjoy at all. You're thinking about what can you make money at, and that's it. And not really thinking about what you actually want to do every day. So you can have success financially. I mean, I did that. That's exactly what I did. I wanted so bad, which is great. I mean, I was hungry, and I wanted so badly to not, because I had a business. I started a business when I was like 19, right? In college, and I knew that I didn't want to have another job. I knew that right away. It was a video production photography company, and I started it because I wanted freedom to go on auditions, because I was acting a lot then, and freedom to go on auditions without losing my job, and I wanted money to make my films, and that was it. And so that kind of evolved in 2, 3, 4 years or so, and then I had a business partner who we made a great business for ourselves, and it was wonderful. And then I had a little bit of a personal stuff go on that didn't bode well for me. I just kind of had one of those rock bottom kind of moments. And so I moved back here and dissolved the business and was broke and I didn't want anything to do with that business. I didn't want anything to do with photography or video, and I didn't want. So I tried a bunch of different things. I went into all different kind of sectors. Trying a bunch of different stuff, trying to find my way, and then I got into photography because I didn't really do photography professionally. I mean, my business partner did most of the photography. And then I started doing photography, and and people asked me to do it. I was in real estate. I was a realtor, and I didn't want to do it. But it was money. And eventually, after I literally denied people left and right. And then eventually I did start doing it. And then I started doing real estate photography. And just because there was money and there was opportunity, that was it. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't like it. It was actually, I started to kind of enjoy it, right? I liked working for myself. I liked that part. I liked the freedom. I liked that a lot. So, but I wasn't really passionate about shooting real estate photography. And then I transitioned into doing headshots, which was super great. And I started, because I knew that, and I thought there's people, and I was shooting people, and I knew actors and realtors and people in business who needed headshots, and it was a good business model. And I got a studio in my parents' house, and I started shooting photos outside, and I started shooting studio photos, and I liked it, and I liked it a lot. Again, because it was closer. It was closer to what I wanted to do, but it wasn't necessarily really what I wanted to do. And became successful. And then it was about, I don't know, 3 or so years into it. And I was living humbly, and I was still living at my parents' house. It's a personal family matter for that, but I was doing pretty well for myself. I was happy, and it was about that time I was like, man, I got no friends. I got I'm not really happy here, and so I stopped. I was like, I don't want to really build a photography business that then has to stay here when I don't really want to be here. So then I a couple of years or so later, I packed up and moved and got a studio in Clearwater, and now that's where I live and that's where I am. And then I started getting all these other opportunities where I'm doing freelance work for other people, which is great, but not really used to it. And I got these TV shows, and again, great, but I'm not really used to working for anybody else. And so it's just a different type of work, and now I have the opportunity to kind of shift my business to make something that I actually want, and not just for the money. And I think that's something that would be handy for you to figure out from the start, is to figure out, instead of thinking about just the money, which I know it's hard. I've been very poor. And even now my business is not where I want it to be. And I knew I would take that hit. I knew moving it, and losing all my clients and all my stuff here, I knew I would take that hit, but I knew that I had the money to do it and the time. And then I got these other, because I have so many friends and my old business partner and old friends in the realm of what I'm doing. So they had jobs, and they hired me to do these other jobs. And so I really didn't need it, which was great, but also I didn't like it. I was like, man, this is kind of like having a job, but it's freelancing. It's great. But you figure yourself out. And so I think for me, it's figuring out what I actually like to do, and the lifestyle you want, because that's something that you don't really think about whenever you're fantasizing about what you want, whether it's starting a business or becoming a big actor or becoming an online creator or being an author or, even having a family or having a certain job or doing any type of thing, it's, or even being an athlete, working out, you got to figure out what, because it's hard to see what that life is going to be like when you don't know what it is, because all you can see is I need to not be poor. I need to make money on my own. And you don't see, I need to be I want to be a creator. And you don't really look at what you're doing. You're just trying to get success. And so I think one thing that just kind of is shifting for me, and I hope it, and I'm figuring it out, and I'll tell you what I'm figuring out for myself. But for you, I think it's tough. But I think that if you can start to figure out what you want to do first, and then worry about how you're going to make that successful, is the path, instead of trying to figure out how you're going to make it successful first, and then really not even think about what you really want to do. You just think about like, you want to start a business. Okay, how can I start a business? What can I do? And how can I make money? Like, that's all I thought about. I didn't care about anything else. I don't care if I really like it or not. Like, I'm just going to I got a skill. People like my photography. Cool. How can I make money at it? Got it. Niche. Make money. Do it. I know these people. Let's make it happen. I did it. Cool. I mean, do I really like it? I don't know. Sure. I mean, it's not something that I would do for free. And same thing with, videos, making content online. You're trying to be an online content creator. And I just started, making videos, and I made videos my whole life since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, it was easy because I was making videos because what I want to make. But then when I got online, now I'm thinking about like what other people want to see and what works and will make go viral, and what will get you as following. And I've done a lot of research, and I know there's two things. One, you got to take action. You plan, and then you never do anything. But you take action, and you don't really take a step back to write or plan. Then you'll just continue doing the same thing. So I think it's a combination of, you got to take action and plan. It's like take action in the day, plan at night, or plan in the morning and take action after. It's a daily thing. It's a constant thing. But you got to kind of do both. But you got to take action. Otherwise, you're not going to know anything. Ask any comedian. I did stand-up comedy for a while, and you write a joke you think is going to kill, and you go on stage, and it just sucks. It just doesn't do anything, and you're like, why didn't that land? I have no idea. Same thing with making videos. You think this video is going to go this is going to be the video to go viral, this is one's going to make me, and then nothing happens. It sucks. And then oftentimes there's ones that we do in like in a half second, and it's shit, and then it goes viral, and you're like, why? But I think that I don't really want to go. I really don't want to make a name for myself online with content that I don't really want to do. Just like I didn't want to have a business with a lifestyle that I don't really want to have right now. So that's why I'm kind of shifting my business to be mainly online, or without me there, ideally. And of course, even my content, being a YouTuber, a podcaster, that's online. I'm doing this anywhere. I can do this and trying to make the content to where I can do it anywhere, right? That's why we're out here, because I'm seeing if I can do it anywhere. And a podcast by myself, and I don't need an interview, and it's fun. And then also figuring out whether or not what kind of videos that I actually do want to make. I think for me, I do like these narrated type of narrated blogs, but writing it first and then getting video to it. Before I was like aimlessly getting video, aimlessly, vlogging, not really knowing what I was doing, and just kind of doing my life, which I didn't really like, so personal, I didn't really like that much. And then figuring out what it actually is going to be in the editing room, and then narrating it after filming it all, and just trying to, make that work. And honestly, it didn't really work. I mean, it worked a couple times, but it wasn't as good as I thought it could be. So what I'm going to try to do now, maybe my type of videos I want to make, they're like short films, but I'm going to write them first, and maybe they're personal, maybe they're comedy, maybe they're funny, maybe they're like maybe they're like Ferris Bueller, maybe they're drama, maybe they're stoic and thought-provoking, maybe they're entertaining, maybe they're inspiring, motivating, whatever it is. And also for that, because I want to be able to make them whenever I wanted to and not have to be on. I don't want to have to be on to do it. I want to be able to just do it anytime. And these are things, and I want to be able to be anywhere and not really need anybody, because I did that too, where I needed a bunch of people, and it's so hard to get a bunch of people together to make a video. Like, it's like impossible. And I don't know, so I'm kind of figuring it out and doing what I think I want to do. And And I think it's the same thing for you. I think figuring out what you want to do first, and then figuring out what people think of it. Try not to think about what people think of it or how you're going to make money from it from the start. I know it's hard because it's hard for me too. But if you go the reverse, like I did, you may actually have success, but you're not going to really be happy. And then are you really successful? Because isn't that the goal? Isn't the goal to be in a place of you're happy with your life and you're happy with what you're doing and happy with the person that you're becoming? Otherwise, why are you even doing it? So I think that's important. And Stephen King has a great quote, his book On Writing. And if you've never read it and you're a writer, I recommend it. On Writing by Stephen King. And it is write the first draft with the door closed and write the second draft with the door open. What that means is when your first draft, you're writing and you're not really thinking about anybody else. You're not thinking about formatting. You're not thinking about even punctuation or spelling. You're not trying not to think about any of that on the actual writing. And you're also not trying to think about what your friends or your family or the general population thinks about what you're writing. You're thinking about just the story itself. You're thinking about this. You're here in it. I don't care about what anybody else thinks. I'm just trying to get this first draft done. And then you get that first draft done. And then now when you go to the second draft, some people don't write second drafts. Guys, you need to write more than people write a book and they're like, oh, this is great. I'm done. No, that's the first draft. You got to write maybe second, third drafts. You write the second draft with the door open. So that means you're thinking about what the world might think about it. You're looking at it from, you're looking at spelling, you're looking at punctuation, you're looking at the story structure, you're looking at, how this actually reads. You're trying to take yourself out of it and think about what someone else might think of it. And that is very handy. But now if you wrote the first draft with that in mind, if you wrote the first draft with thinking about what everyone thinks about, then it would probably most likely stunt or stop your writing. You would be completely thinking, you wouldn't write anything maybe of substance. You wouldn't have any idea about what what you actually think or what your characters actually think. All you're thinking about is what other people will think of them. So you're kind of placating and you're not really getting across the message or the story that it should be told. And you may not even be able to write anything because you think, oh, no one's going to read this. No one's going to like this. This sucks. Well, of course, the first draft sucks. That's why it's a first draft. So I think that's something similar to your content, your business, your life. I think if you figure out first, what kind of videos do I want to make? Then now I figure out, okay, how do I make this go viral? How do I get someone to stay? How do I get someone to click through? I need that first 5 seconds to be, just banging content. They need to really like it and then they stay and then I got to keep them. That's after you figure out what kind of videos you want to make maybe, and then same thing with business. Instead of figuring out what kind of, what can I do to make money, you figure out what do I like doing first of all. What do I want to do, right? What kind of lifestyle do I want to have? And then now find that business that works around that. And then, how do I make that business successful? And I think you'll have much more success because you're building a business around the lifestyle that you want and the kind of person you want to be and the kind of stuff that you enjoy doing. You really like it. And that will have much more long-term success because you could have success the other way where you're just thinking about money, but now you're doing something that you don't really like. You're selling insurance. You're a real estate agent. You don't really want to be. You're a photographer taking photos that you don't really care about. You're making videos for people that you don't really want to be doing because you don't like it. You're a writer, but you're not really writing anything of substance. You're a creator, but you're making content that you're not really proud of. You need to really be proud of it. You need to really enjoy it. And I think that's a key for me and hopefully a key for you that will help you a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. My name's Dan Kathman, and you guys have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving, and goodbye.